Hi, I'm Maggie from the Pine Needle, and today we're going to talk about the V-Block ruler by Deb Tucker. And this ruler is designed to make your units oversized and then trim them down so that you have the accuracy in your product. The V-Block is basically a unit that looks like this. Okay. Normally, when you use templates or other ruler designs, you cut a center triangle and two side triangles. This is basically what we're going to do. In the old method, you would have to line everything up accurately and sew your 1/4 inch accurately. Along the front edge of the ruler here, it tells you, you decide what is the finished size unit that you would like. And so you look down and you say, well, I want a 2.5 finish unit. It tells you what size to cut your strips. So you cut your strips 3.5 inches. Now you're going to cut your strips for your center triangle and your side triangles the same width. So here's our strip for our center triangle. We're going to make our first cut. And what we're going to do on our on the triangle here, on our ruler here, there's a dotted line that shows you, it says fold line for center triangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to fold over the edge of our strip. And we're going to take and line up our ruler on that fold. You just have to go over enough. I'm going to line the dotted line on the fold. Okay. So the fold line is on the dotted line and your straight edge is where your strip finishes. Then we're going to go ahead and trim that. This is your only little bit of waste. And there is your first center triangle. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our strip, we're going to flip it over to the other side, and on your ruler is a diagonal line right here. We're going to lay that down so that the diagonal line matches that cut we just made. Our straight edge matches up right here, and we're going to go ahead and cut, and there's our next set of center triangles. So you just go through your strip and flip-flop back and forth to get your center triangles. Now for your side triangles, again, you have the same width strip, only now we're going to look for the solid line here, and it says cut line for side triangles. Okay? Now we've cleaned up this edge, so we're starting with a straight edge, and we're going to lay our ruler down so that solid line is right along the cut edge, and then we're going to go ahead and cut. And there's our first set of side triangles. Now, because they need to be mirror images, you have to have your fabric folded in half so that you cut two at once, and either right side or wrong sides together so that you be sure to get mirror images. So now I've got the angle set up here for my next cut. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler, I'm going to turn it around, and from this corner there's a diagonal line that I'm going to lay down, and it's going to line right up with that diagonal line that I just cut, and I'm going to trim this way, and there's my next set of mirror image side triangles. Okay, so pretty easy. You can cut through these quite, very quickly, so you can get a lot of your side triangles and center triangles made. Now, if you're making a bunch of these, you can just stack them all up, go to your sewing machine. The nice thing about this, we don't have to worry about the 1/4 inch little tails hanging off or anything. I'm just going to take this, I'm going to put point to point, and I'm going to sew my 1/4 inch, and then I'm going to fold that back and take my next side, just sew point to point, 1/4 inch, and press. So what I end up with, oops, where'd it go? Is a unit that looks like this. There's tails hanging off. It's oversized. So this is where the trimming part of the ruler comes in. And the nice thing about her rulers is that you can trim all these different sizes with the one ruler. So this one is actually going to finish at 3.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look on my ruler, I'm going to find the 3.5. There's a diagonal line where the 3.5 shows up. I find the V, it fits right in the V of my unit here, and then I can trim one side, trim the other side. Now when I turn it around, since it's 3.5 inch finished, it's going to be 4 inches finished, and that's where my outside edge lines right up to a 4. Then if you notice here, the X lines right up on the top of the point, so then I can trim, and there's my my unit that's perfectly sized with my 1/4 inch at all the important parts, so that when I put it into my product, I get nice sharp points. Okay, this is an example using the V-block unit and just turning it and making a pinwheel design. Here's the V-block. This is your the old 5440 or Fight. So this is the V-block unit right here. Again, here's the little guys. All right. You can also take these V-block units. You can sew them together. You can make border units out of them. You can add them to other blocks. It's a really versatile unit, as I say. It's something that you can use to design other parts of your quilt. And as I said, the nice thing about it is that you can make all these different sizes, from a little tiny guy, 1.5 inches, all the way up to 6.5. So you're 10 different sizes with one ruler. So I think it's pretty slick. I like it a whole lot. Thank you.